Let's go ahead and talk about why, though, cryptocurrency is important. And we're going to beat the drum once again, because apparently nobody else in the cryptocurrency influencer space is beating the proper drum here. If we look at the principles and the fundamentals of Bitcoin, the point of it is a peer-to-peer cashless system that basically eliminates the need for third-party involvement such as banks and governments. Case in point of why you want peer-to-peer transactions, self-custody too, which we talked about yesterday with Canada or Russia. Again, Russia and Canada now at this point trying to ban self-custody and stop people from talking about self-custody like Coinbase, etc. Now we see further reasons. And from geopolitical tensions, what countries will do or banks will do to protect their investments is essentially tell you you can't protect yours. The Russian central bank has banned short selling amid a 50% stock market plunge as Russia invades Ukraine. So a 50% crash in Russia's stock market on Thursday after the country invaded Ukraine led the country's central bank to implement a ban on short selling. Short selling allows investors to profit off the decline of a stock, and the practice can exacerbate an ongoing sell-off. Russia's ban represents an attempt to stem the decline in the country's stock market. In connection with the current situation in the financial markets and in order to protect the rights and legitimate interests of investors in the financial markets, reduce risk and limit excessive volatility, the Bank of Russia has ordered brokers to suspend short sales on exchange and over-the-counter market, Russia's central bank said. Russia's MOEX stock market index erased as much as $259 billion in market value on Thursday, and the index was already down about 20% leading up to Thursday's plunge. During the latest sell-off, the index tumbled as much as 61% from its 52-week high. Quote, Russian markets are in meltdown, chiefly on sanctions fears and the country effectively being ousted from the international financial order, end quote, said Neil Wilson, chief analyst of markets.com. Russia ruble, also plummeted to a record low on Thursday as elevated sanctions against Moscow appear likely. Russia launched a missile attack in a number of cities across Ukraine in the early hours of Thursday, threatening to kill innocent civilians and forcing many to flee the country. Look, I would say fix the money, fix the world. You're not going to fix everything with the money, but you can fix a lot of it. The number one ramification for Russia as a whole, the Russian bank, the Russian people, the Russian government, is going to be the amount of money they lose in the case of invading Ukraine, or that would have been. Basically, because third parties control this, banks and the government, they are able to kind of manipulate it into a fashion where they don't lose as much. So they don't suffer as much of the consequences as they would have originally. If you have a peer-to-peer cashless system that is allowing people to transact between each other without the involvement of the government, then essentially at that point they would be at a bigger disadvantage than they are now, where they are able to interfere with it, and they would be disincentivized to make moves against the public from a financial perspective. And that is the reason Bitcoin is important. And that is the reason Bitcoin sets itself apart from things like Ethereum. I hope I've made that very clear. This is just case in point. All right. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.